It's time to take a look at some of the week's stories that impact branding and brands. So branding expert and host of the Chatter That Matters podcast, Tony Chapman, joins us virtually. Too bad not in person, Tony, but we'll see you soon. Good to see you.
Look at our color combination, and who would have thought?
Very good.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, it looks good, Tony. Okay, always on brand, always in style. But let's talk about this, Tony. We've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now, speaking with local restaurants after McDonald's, who we also spoke to, announced a year-long price freeze on sort of, more budget meals, coffees, etc. But we've also talked to local restaurants about their struggle. They don't have that sort of power in numbers to limit their prices to compete. What do you make of this? It's an interesting move. McDonald's, KFC even changing things up too.
Yeah, it's a hard time for restaurants right now. I mean, we're dealing with consumers that have less discretionary income. Interesting enough, a fear of going out. More and more, they're sort of hunkering inside. And we're also dealing with, if you're in the restaurant business, all these massive pressures on your business. Labor's going up, rent's going up, taxes are going up, food is going up exponentially. So how does an independent restaurant survive? With great difficulty. Even a packed restaurant doesn't signal profitability anymore because they can only price it to the point where the consumer is willing to stomach. The other side, we've got McDonald's, and what McDonald's has basically said is we're going to use our buying power and our scale to say we have your back. We're going to freeze prices for the next year. We're going to give you that some stability in a world that seems very volatile. So for McDonald's, that's a marketing strategy hidden in a price freeze. For independent restaurants, it's survival by managing your costs at the same time creating the kind of experiences that the consumers demand. They're on a high wire act. McDonald's is basically saying we can flex our muscles for a year and take market share in doing so.
Yeah, okay, a very clever move by McDonald's. Meantime, Tony, a Canadian agency convinced a global company, we're talking about Kraft Heinz, to come up with a French fry pack that includes space for the ketchup, kind of like a couch that has that remote control kind of gadget that you could fit your remote in and magazines.
Yeah, what a brilliant move. This is an agency called Rethink. It's one of the most world-renowned and Canadian agency. And instead of just jumping to, let's create an advertising campaign, what they do is they spend time observing the consumer. With Heinz and ketchup, so much of ketchup is consumed in fast food. And it's just enough, they said, that these packages, first of all, look like a Heinz logo. And then they spent more time in realizing people were so upset getting ketchup on themselves. They didn't get enough ketchup, or the first two French fries had ketchup. And so they really took their time thinking about it and saying, well, we could solve this with a campaign. Well, it doesn't solve the problem. How they solved the problem was creating this dipper, which is this little slide-out pocket you put your ketchup in. Now, it's just enough. They got a patent on this, and they're selling it to 7 countries around the world.
Wow.
So if you don't think Canadian ingenuity belongs around the world, think again. But this is, again, a Canadian agency that's saying, we don't worry about boundaries. We don't stay in our own lane. What we do is we solve problems. A great lesson for anybody listening, regardless of whether you're in marketing or not. Look at the problem from the point of view of the consumer, work your way back, and next thing you know, you come up with the Heinz dipper.
It's like build a better mousetrap, really, but in this case, it's build a better fry box, and they seem to have done it.
And how do you just look at it and say, why wasn't that done before?
I know.
How is it possible? Billions of French fry packages all over the world. Again, it takes time to have the patience to look and observe at the consumer versus being so obsessed about your brand. That is a great lesson in life. Whether you're in a career, it has nothing to do with marketing. Look around you and then start working on the problem versus just becoming consumed by what you think the problem is.
I'm already feeling inspired. Okay, Tony Chapman, branding expert and host of the Chatter That Matters podcast. Thanks so much for your time, Tony, and hope to see you in the studio soon. Thank you.
Take care, Tony. Thank you.
Thank you.